All right, a bit of a different message today, but I think a really important one. I mean, this is something so many people struggle with, and the message I really want to deliver today is that there is nothing in this world you can do that screws everything up, especially in the short term. Like, not in a week, not in a day. It's one of these things where you have to realize we have things like Christmas coming up. By the release of this video, Christmas is probably in a few days. I don't care what you do on that day. I don't care if you have 10,000 calories worth of food. You cannot screw everything up from that one day, or even if it turns into a week. The thing that screws everything up is when you feel like I need to be perfect, but I'm not, so what's the point? And then you completely give up. And this is a huge trap. I'm telling you, people who see success are never the people who are perfect all the time. That does not exist. The people who see long-term success are the people who have balance and flexibility. They don't fall into the all or nothing mentality. They don't freak out when things are off a little bit. They don't put so much pressure on things. They look at the big picture and don't get so caught up in the nitty-gritty. I mean, I can't tell you how many people completely freak out because not only will they miss a week of workouts, but even one single day, or they feel like if they don't work out every single day for the rest of their life that they're going to screw things up and they're just running themselves into the ground and actually doing more harm than good. It doesn't require all that. You don't have to go that hardcore. It's not that serious, and I'm not saying that negatively. I'm not coming down on you. I just want to make sure you understand this message because it's killing you, and I hate this for you. Like, I just want you to be happy. Don't you want to be happy? This is one of these things where we feel like if I just get in better shape, I'll be happy, but that's not necessarily even the truth. And a lot of people are much happier, even at a higher body fat than they necessarily want to be, but with actual balance and flexibility and being able to go out and enjoy food and not being so emotionally tied to how things are going. They slow down, they don't put so much pressure on results. They realize that they have to do this stuff for the rest of their life, so there is no rush anyways. And realizing, as I said right up front, you cannot do anything to screw things up. And I want to kind of show myself or talk about myself for a little bit here and to kind of help relay this message a little bit because I come from where you come from. I used to be this person. I used to put so much pressure on things. I had the all or nothing mentality. I felt like you had to be perfect. I looked at foods as good or bad or right or wrong and felt bad or guilty if I ate things that I shouldn't eat. And it's a terrible place to be. And I've now thankfully created a healthy relationship with food, and I have balance, and I'm able to get pretty good results and be happy with things while not completely sacrificing my entire life. And I can have things like Christmas Day or going out and doing whatever and having a day of freedom and not worrying about things because I know that I can't screw it all up. And especially when it comes to workouts, like if we take the last almost 2 years now, like most of us, it's been a real struggle, right? Like things have been crazy the last couple of years. And when things first locked down, I couldn't go to the gym or anything like so many people, and I had very little at home. I only had a couple of very light dumbbells. I got some resistance bands so I could do a little something, but couldn't do a whole lot. And to be quite frank, I was really losing motivation, wasn't having a lot of fun with things. At first, I went up there into the backyard and did like 4 days with body part splits and did what I could. I got down to the point where I was basically just going out there like twice a week, doing maybe like 1 exercise per muscle group, 3 or 4 sets, hitting it quick, being done and going back inside. And that lasted for about 6 months. And then I got back to the gym. It finally opened back up, hit that for about 2 months, was feeling very good. And then boom, I got hit with this eye thing. I don't know if you followed me or not on Instagram, but I talked about this a lot. I'm not gonna go into a lot of detail, but the bottom line was I basically couldn't lift for like 5 months, 5 or 6 months. Basically, I would have to take 2 weeks of no exercise of any sort, like nothing. A few weeks after that, I could do like just very, very, very light, not even close to failure, like not even like 50% of what you could do, taking it super easy to make sure I didn't raise my eye pressure or do anything wrong. And I had to do this bout several times over. So I basically wasn't able to lift for yet another 5 or 6 months after being out for 5 or 6 months prior to that. I wasn't tracking during all that time. Now, just because I wasn't tracking doesn't mean I was binging my face off and going nuts, which is one of the messages I want to relay. We don't want that all or nothing mentality. That's what really kills people, and you just got to get away from that mindset. It doesn't require perfection, and if you show up and do almost anything with regards to your workouts, you can keep most of what you had. The body is very resilient, especially when it comes to muscle. It's way harder to build muscle than it is to keep muscle. And as long as you just kind of keep yourself in the game doing anything, even if like you're in a position where you're not feeling great and you don't really want to do anything, or life is just not in a good spot, if you usually did 4 or 5 days of workouts, show up and do one or two, just something to keep you in the game. Because it's not like you can't take breaks, but the problem with full breaks is the longer you're out, the harder it is to get back in again. So anyway, despite all that time with not really being able to do much workouts and not really tracking my intake, I just went through my first cut in over 2 years, and it was only 12 weeks with diet breaks included, and it went really well, and I'm in a good place, and now I'm reversing back out. And the whole point of showing you this is not to say, well, look at me and this is what you should expect or anything like that. The point is to say, if all that can happen, if I can spend that much time out of the gym and still be able to do this, then you really don't need to freak out because you missed 1 day of exercise, or you're going on vacation for a week and you don't plan on exercising. Like, that's fine. I do that too. And again, everyone's different. I'm not saying that I'm like, I don't want you to take this as me saying that I'm better than anything. I'm just trying to show you that there's nothing you can do to screw things up. The only thing you can do to screw it up is quit. That's what screws everything up. And that's where so many people go wrong. It's that chasing perfection that just makes people quit. Because I mean, if you think about it, if you truly thought, like so many people do, that you had to be perfect in order to see results, how could you ever not quit? Because you're just not going to be able to be perfect forever. Who can? Nobody can. Anybody who says they are lying to you. It doesn't exist. So being okay with more balance and flexibility, and again, slowing down, making it a lifestyle, not putting so much pressure on how you look and your body weight and treating yourself like crap. Like, please don't treat yourself so poorly. Stop overjudging yourself for every little thing you do. When you make mistakes, just be okay with it and learn from it and grow. Like, talk to yourself the way you would talk to a friend when they made the same mistake. Like, if somebody else did something that you do, what would you say to that person? And say that to yourself. You would never say the things that you say to yourself to a friend. If you did, you'd be an asshole, right? Like, stop treating yourself that way. It's just, I'm sorry. But it kills me to see people treat themselves the way they do and beat themselves up and feel so bad and feel like they've ruined everything because they made some mistakes or decided to live their life for a little bit. Like, that's okay. And we just need to just chill out and just take things as they come, live a healthy lifestyle, stop looking at exercise as a form of just burning calories. That's a terrible way to look at it mindset wise. Like, use your exercise because you want to get stronger, because you want to be healthy, you want to have stronger bones as you get older, and it's just good for you mentally and physically. It's so good for you. But we just look at it as, well, I just need to burn calories. And then if you're in a position where you're not trying to lose weight anymore, like, then you stop exercising because, well, I don't need the calorie burn. Like, it's not just about calorie burn. That's almost the least important thing about exercise. And we just got to change our entire mindsets. And I know I'm starting to kind of ramble at this point, and this is not my normal typical type of video. So if you're still here, I appreciate it. But I just really wanted to relay this message today because so many people get caught up in this stuff, and especially this time of year. I mean, the holiday season is going to come every year, and that's why we need to not be perfect, and that's why we need to learn how to navigate the ups and downs in life and not wait until you can give 100%, because you can't give 100% forever. And if you feel like the only reason to put forth effort is if you can give 100%, then you're always going to stop at some point. It's okay to back off. It's okay to not just go super hard all the time. It's okay to be more flexible with things, but it's not okay to just completely stop because there's no point, and especially just like completely going nuts all the time because your diet will eventually start again, or what's the point if I'm not losing weight? Like, these are the mindset shifts that we need to make. And again, this comes with no judgment. Like, I've been there. I get it. But if you want the change that you're after, it's going to start up here. It's not from like, what should I physically do? What's the best diet around? Should I track my macros, or should I do keto, or what's the best form of exercise? All that stuff doesn't matter. Like, you can do so many things wrong and get great results if you just keep going, if you stop quitting whenever it gets hard. That's the real secret that nobody wants to hear. There's thousands upon thousands of ways to do this stuff, and it's why I always preach sustainability. There's no magic solutions out there. Find something that you enjoy and what seems to be the least restrictive to you, and then do that. I don't care what it is. Like, you can do whatever diet you want. Don't listen to anybody who says you have to do it this way. They're probably just trying to sell you something. So if you're terrified of any type of weight gain or putting so much pressure on your body, I hope you'll check out this top video I did a while back next, as it will hopefully help you get past some of these things. If you've already seen it, then I think you'll probably like this bottom video instead. And if you're seeing this when it comes out, we're in the holiday season. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the holiday season, and I'll see you next time.